Welcome back to Another Thing. I'm Larry Menti. A continuing rash of gun violence and mass shootings has led to a debate on gun control and mental illness. Here to talk more about that is Dr. Michael Cunningham, who is medical director of the Westfield Mental Health Specialists. Thank you for being here, doctor. And Bob Jordan is back, who is a reporter at the Asbury Park Press and APP.com. I want to start with the politics of this, because immediately after these shootings, it seems like Democrats pounce on it, and you correct me if I'm wrong, and say we should have more increased gun control because that's a topic that plays to their base. And then Republicans feel like they have to say something and counter it by saying, no, it's not the guns that's the problem, it's that we don't have enough checks on mental health. That's
almost like the loop that's been happening over the last couple of years with the mass shootings. There's a quiet time, it might be half a day, 2 days. Democrats will start, maybe President Obama will come out and call for tighter gun controls, or huff and puff like there will be action in Washington or in the state legislatures. Republicans push back, talk about Second Amendment rights being threatened, and we just go on. There hasn't been a lot of changes nationally or the states in quite a while.
Before we get to the doctor, let's talk about your guy, Chris Christie. I call him your guy only because you cover the state of New Jersey. I'm not talking about any affiliation. But Chris Christie is of great interest locally in all the states that we serve. He came out and said this is a mental health problem. Has he been consistent with that in the state of New Jersey?
Well, about 2 years ago, Christie said New Jersey is known to have strong gun laws, and he said he supported them pretty clearly 2 years ago. I think it was timed with his last election in New Jersey as governor in 2013. And now, recently in New Hampshire, he's been talking about how some of New Jersey's gun laws are, I think the term he used was ridiculous. He's been issuing a handful of pardons on people who were charged on New Jersey's tough gun possession laws. So he's definitely moved to the right in terms of his position, which you would expect. He's running for the Republican presidential nomination, and hard positions on strong gun laws are a non-starter there.
In Aurora, James Holmes, there was red flag. Psychiatrists knew he could be a problem. Yes. Dylan Klebold, people knew that he could be a problem. The shooter in Virginia Tech, the psychiatrist at the school knew he could be a problem. None of that made it into the system.
That's the problem. Exactly. The's no process.
So as a medical professional, it should be in there?
I would agree with saying yes. There should be a system of saying these people are, or this person, individual, is prone or has been proven himself to be dangerous. And even though he's accepting treatment, that level of dangerousness should be flagged somewhere in a gun background check.
You're going to get called in front of a congressional hearing for saying that, or get called down into Trenton. How is New Jersey with this? Do you?
Well, on that point, New Jersey lawmakers passed a bill unanimously, I believe, earlier this year, looking for wider information on commitments, mental commitments. A bill came up to try to get that information between the courts and the regulators in terms of expungements. Having that also included, expungements wouldn't eliminate the information from being shared in a gun background check. The bill passed unanimously, and Governor Christie vetoed it. After the veto, Democrats in the legislature tried to override it. About a dozen Republican senators changed their votes.
Well, wait. Chris Christie, this is his issue. This is the way he wants to help stop these mass shootings. Is that what he said? Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I don't understand the bill. Does that jive up with what he's saying as a candidate now? His actions?
Well, his veto message, he recommended a study, a panel to kind of push it down the road. If action is taken in New Jersey, he'd like to see it after the primaries early next year.
Doctor, one last point. I want to go back to what you said. To get that information into the system so that gun shop owners could see if the person buying a gun is dangerous and keep them from buying a gun, we'd have to do away with HIPAA laws, right? Or at least amend them.
Well, the process is now, if you are held involuntarily in a psychiatric facility.
No, I get that. I'm talking about the people who aren't, that the red flags come in with the psychiatrists.
Sure. There would be some level of privacy issues that would need to be possibly violated. But in terms of, it's a public health issue. These people are inherently have proven themselves to be a danger at one point, and the best predictor of future violence and dangerousness is past.
Right, and so many times we've heard psychiatrists feel like they can't do anything, that they want to do something, they can't do anything. Family members have found that they can't do anything, so it's fascinating that you said that. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Bob,
Larry.
thanks for coming back. Doctor, appreciate it. Dr. Michael Cunningham, Medical Director, Westfield Mental Health Specialist, and of course Bob Jordan, who's a regular reporter at the Asbury Park Press and APP.com. We'll be right back.